All right, MMA Weekly here, the Scott Peterson with Jake Hatton, former world champ trainer, sports agent, womanizer? Is that good?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of?
No, not really. Not at all.
Not this weekend?
Not at all. Not at all.
And Greg Hendricks has been in the combat sports for over 30 years, worked with the UFC for around 10,
about 10
years,
yep.
And a long history in boxing. We just thought we would have a podcast where we kind of just talked about things in general, what were going on in MMA and boxing as what seems to be the thing this week. The Arrival press conference just happened today. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor, they came to the T-Mobile Arena outside in the plaza. Fans were waiting for a long time in the hot sun. My camera overheated, my laptop melted, everything was going wrong.
Scott made it back in one piece?
I kind of, if that's good, the one piece I have. The fans were upset, the press was like, it was a cluster.
Could you get a clear shot of anything that was going on, or was it structured well?
Or did you get something people didn't see? Something was happening back somewhere, you know, something that they weren't seeing out front.
It kind of sucked for the fans that were sitting on the sides, waiting for over an hour. Floyd gets there, and the press got up on stage and kind of blocked the sides off. So I was good with the front shot, but they were screwed, and they started chanting and kind of yelling. I can't blame them. I would too. And then when Conor came, it was even worse. The press acted like a bunch of giddy children and stormed the stage and covered the whole thing, so there's no shot for the TV cameras and nothing back there. And we're like, and then the audio went out.
Is this the most press you've seen for any event, or has some of the other events been as big?
This definitely, I think, hands down, the biggest with at the Floyd's gym. Of course, the World Tour. Even Conor, when he came out last week for the training session at the UFC Training Institute, he came out and saw. Usually there will be like one platform of all the microphones there. There was two. We were stacked deep, a couple deep instead of, you know. And he was looking around like, okay, this is kind of new.
And so you got to tell me a story. Is there really a story about how you guys went to one ring? You guys are all set up. Again, you're the videographer. I'm not. But you guys are all set. I got to ask this. You're all set up. You got all the cameras ready. Your microphones are good to go. You tweaked all the equipment. And then he goes to a different ring?
Yeah. So he came and did about 20-30 minutes. Was very gracious with the writers back in the back room, but it was hot. Even Floyd was complaining about the air conditioning. He comes out, does the TV stuff. My camera guy was up. All the TV cameras were around the ring. We're sweating their off for like 3 hours. And he looked up at him and goes, doot, over to the ring where nobody's at. Everybody. So
I had to ask. I've heard this, and I'm like, is it a rumor? Scott will know if it's a rumor or not, and I got to ask it.
The jerk side of me kind of respects that, and I thought it was kind of funny. But at least it wasn't. It was like somebody else was doing my camera that day, so it was funny.
And it's classic Mayweather. I mean, you can't find more.
And then the next day, Conor does his training. He's going to shower everybody. He'll be out in 10 minutes, hour and a half later, and he got some food.
Greg was actually very surprised that the two guys showed up on time today.
I'm incredibly surprised. I figured
Conor did not.
Well, okay, but on time is a relative term here.
Well,
remember, I've done contact sports 30 years. So my point is, we were trying to get on to this, 4 o'clock today. I'm telling Jake, I've got somewhere else to be. We may not make it in time. I couldn't believe they even came close to that number. They're both notoriously known to be late, and not in a bad way late, just fashionably late for Vegas.
Yeah. Floyd was on time, but Conor was supposed to come at 1:30. Floyd at 2. Conor came after Floyd was done, and so Conor still came. Conor was probably still quite late, but
well. So we heard there was a little scrum in the back. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So pretty much everything up on stage was a screw job. Even the Showtime guy came and said, "Sorry guys, nothing we can do now. Give you our footage." So I go back there and I see Paulie Malignaggi.
Very, very.
Hey, I'm MMA. I don't care about boxing.
For Scott, we'll call him Paul Smith. but for all the Scott's listeners out there, Paulie Malignaggi.
I can do M. I can at least do M. Paulie M. So I see him there. It's like, and I thought that was pretty good. I recognized him, you know, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. What's he doing? Kind of like sniffing around backstage here. So I kind of kept an eye on, and Conor's going from one group to the next. They're trying to usher him out. Then all of a sudden, Audie. Conor's manager kind of links up with Paulie, and something starts, and Conor's like starts beelining it over there, and they got in each other's faces, and you know, Paulie wants to be in the mix apparently. I mean, how else could that be? Do you think he's angling for a fight in the future?
I think he is, but I think there's, again, all of us here do not have the legal name after ours. None of us are attorneys or anything, but there's got to be NDA involved. There's got to be something where Paulie can't discuss things that we haven't leaked already. I mean, so again, you'd have to find somebody with more of a legal background than myself, but there's got to be an NDA. There's got to be something, and Paulie's obviously angling for a fight. I don't blame him, but there's got to be pieces of paper somewhere signed by these incredibly huge, world-renowned attorneys that say you can't do that.
Well, interestingly enough, and Scott will really get into this deep, but anytime you're a high-profile athlete and somebody comes in to train with you, one of Conor's biggest advantages in this fight is his unpredictability. So we've seen it in his the open workouts. Of course, he's not going to do anything to show Floyd of how he's going to fight. But Scott, can you elaborate a little more with?
So do you think during the workouts, like a lot of people were kind of complaining, oh, he's just like journeyman style hitting the bag. He's doing the karate stance. He's doing this thing to the bag before he attacks it. What else? Do you think it was an act?
Oh, 100% an act. I mean, Conor's a bright kid, big fighter IQ, and he's got a wonderful camp around him. Just a wonderful team in general. And yeah, what else is he supposed to do? If he gets in front of the audience, and you know, Leonard Ellaby and a couple of Floyd's management, they've mentioned a couple times that it's the unpredictability. They don't know. You can watch Floyd's fights, and he's brilliant, and nobody's solved the riddle yet. However, you have zero idea of how Conor will approach this fight.
Absolutely.
I mean, zero.
Let's watch it. Let's show the fans at home this video, and I think it's very interesting that Conor. I don't know if he's let it slip or not, but listen to what he has to say here.
Traditional boxing manner.
Everything is legal. Everything is legal that we have been doing here. I mean, we have brought in. I've had a referee present at every single spar. I've had a Hall of Fame referee, Joe Cortez, here in Vegas. I mean, if that doesn't show the boxing community that I'm taking this seriously, taking these rules set seriously, and looking to abide by this, and of course I'm going to play to the rules and I'm going to implement my own stuff, but we are prepared. I mean, the referee for me was critical in bringing in. And the ring, the correct ring size, the correct canvas, but the referee was critical because we must understand the rules. We must understand how long the referee gives us in the clinch, what things get flagged, and certain things like this. So that was the route we went, and it's been great. This preparation has been very unique. Also, John has been in the ring with me. We've been sparring in this camp, working out some certain situations that people will be very shocked with when they see it take place.
The referee was critical. We must understand what things get flagged. Just the way. Am I reading too much into it? That
I don't know.
Is he, in the terms of the stock market, trying to arbitrage the rules? Is he trying to exploit the rules and use them in a way that a boxer may not
Greg and I were talking about this early, and I think one of the most interesting parts of MMA is it's always innovation. So athletes are constantly trying to figure out different styles, different angles, different approaches, and that's what, it's a very unpredictable sport. There's so many disciplines involved, but Greg had brought up a wonderful point about the Superman punch. And if it's allowed, and Greg, as our expert,
I can tell you,
we want to...
out of all the commission meetings I've been to, the battle revised statutes I've looked at over the years, and that will bore you to tears, so we're not going to go into that today, I could not find it. Maybe one of your listeners can, Scott, but I'm telling you, I looked everywhere. Can you do a Superman punch? Can you leave your feet? Can you do a fake? Which is what Jake and I talked about. Can he fake a kick? Now, not throwing it, obviously. We've already discussed all the situations of what Conor has built into his
contract. Can he fake a takedown?
But can he fake a takedown? Can he fake a double? You know, can he do anything? And I looked through everything. So I'm begging somebody to find, is it illegal? Not improbable, because it's not smart in this fight. If he goes for a double and Mayweather cracks him, you don't have to worry the rest of the fight. Is it illegal? I can't find it anywhere. So I think that gets into Mayweather's head. If you can do these kind of really, as Jake can tell you, because Jake was a fighter, I wasn't, these moves that could throw Mayweather off, because obviously 49 fighters before didn't throw Mayweather off, but that was straight boxing.
I think their team and Conor's attorney was instrumental in making sure they had the right referee. A referee that's just not so traditional boxing. If something happens, right or wrong, is that referee going to freeze in the middle of the match and not make the right decision? So for them, which was, again, a very bright move, was bringing in a referee with both. The understanding of the mixed martial arts and boxing, and, you know, understanding if he does a Superman punch, if it's in the rules, and I pretty much...
Or not.
Yeah, or not. I pretty much guarantee, stylistically, Conor's going to come out with some things that nobody's expecting. And
I see him looking to exploit the gray areas. And I think with the traditional boxers, they're brought to work within a certain frame set, and I think that they're looking at different ideas. Like you said, they want to throw him off. They want to put Floyd on imbalance. I don't know if it's possible, but they want to take him off balance and cause an opening.
And that's why I think Bob Bird is an incredible pick by the commission. As you saw at the commission meeting the other day, absolutely no problem with the attorneys for either side or the management teams, because they know what Bob Bird brings in. And this number's crazy, but it's like over 600 bouts or some insane number that Bob has done over the years. And worldwide, not just Nevada. He's done major fights here. But Bob Bird, again, I've been in so many matches, and he's off the charts. I don't know as far as respect from other fighters, from commissions, from everybody. So I think that, and you saw in your video, McGregor mentioned it, Mayweather's team mentioned it, so obviously the 10 ounce going to 8 ounce and all these other things that have happened over the last couple weeks are not as big as Bob Bird. And the good thing is Bob Bird is one of the most humble individuals, I know him personally, that you'll ever meet. You're not going to see him out there doing it. You know?
So I'm not reading too much into him looking at the little intricacies of the rules to exploit whatever he can.
I believe he should. Why shouldn't he?
Well, I believe he should.
I don't think boxers do. So if that's what he brings, bring it. You've got to try something again. I said 49 guys came in and 49 guys didn't. So if he is going to be the first, there's got to be something that Floyd hasn't seen, hasn't trained for.
So we know, and I want you to elaborate on this, but we know he had an NDA. We confirmed that Paulie had an NDA.
And in fact, here we'll bring to the viewers right here, Paulie Malignaggi, right after the confrontation with Conor McGregor, what he had to say here.
Relax. Did you bring your balls? Remember? Did you bring your balls, Conor? Get over it. Did you bring your balls, Conor? Did you bring your balls? I wasn't even trying to get in Conor's way because this is a media scrum and I'm not involved in the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I was trying to get out of your attention, so that's to say, that was low. That was kind of undignified what you guys did. Between me and you, I was trying to be man to man with him, and obviously you saw what happened afterwards. He was trying to say he was trying.
Do you buy that? He's not trying to get into Conor's way.
I mean,
everybody's trying.
Everybody's angling
because they see a
Everybody's angling for that.
Which I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. But at this point,
I have no problem being Conor's second fight.
No.
Yeah, that's what he's angling, obviously, here. And then he goes on and mentions this NDA.
He was trying to talk about that I talked out of my contract. I talked out of my contract. He posted pictures all over social media. The media rushes to me. I have to defend myself. You know, it started out with that picture behind with his hands behind him. They constantly put up shit that the media is going to come talk about. So you can't pretend like I talked out of my contract. So anyway, just now all I was trying to do was grab his manager, take him aside from the scrum.
So obviously he had an NDA. Conor has one of the MMA powerhouses in the industry, Michael Mersch, who represents him. They're going to have that angle covered. They're going to be protected,
100%.
obviously. And, you know, leading up, I mean, I thought it was kind of weird. It's like nobody's talking out of Floyd's camp.
Nope.
Paulie's talking.
Well, you know, I guess we need to say kudos to Conor and his team for just wanting to focus on the fight and not worry about anything else.
Yeah, it was interesting. He didn't really speak until the workout. He kind of kept it quiet.
And Conor's not one to back down. So obviously he could have been in a confrontation with Paulie, but that's not where he's going with this. His is Floyd this week.
Focus is clear.
You know, and like you guys said, not only does he have an incredible legal team, Conor, here in town, but they have means of getting to things much quicker than some other people would because of their backgrounds.
As you know.
As I know personally. So.
Yeah, and I think Conor's focus is on that $100 million.
If not more.
If not more. I heard 150 thrown out there. So
none of those numbers surprise me.
Yeah, just craziness. Do you think a Paulie M fight would be interesting? Do you think that could even happen, or doesn't even make sense?
I brought that up today, and I think he's a little further down the pecking order than Paulie wants to be.
As Conor says, get in the queue.
Get in the queue.
Get in the queue, unless that fight makes and with all due respect to Paulie, you know, is a great boxer. I just don't think he brings enough to the table for a super fight with Conor. You know, I think the only other guys, if Conor can get past Floyd, it would be maybe a Triple G. Those are the only fights that would really make sense, because who else, honestly, would you like to see him fight?
Who else can bring in the money, really?
That's really the question.
Paulie's a great guy.
No disrespect to
he's
that.
not going to bring Triple G does.
But obviously skill is not the only factor in
well, remember, guys, this is entertainment.
He's looking for big paydays.
Yeah, this is still entertainment. As a fighter, you're an entertainer, and that's why some of the great fighters get paid more, because they have the ability to reach a bigger audience. People want to tune in. You could be the best fighter in the world and not say a word and boring and not have a big audience. So it is about entertainment.
I've seen incredible boxing matches on the undercard, but we're not going to match what that kid made per round versus what and Conor are going to make on Saturday.
Right.
I mean, the actual, because of how big a contact sports fans we are, the actual fights on some of them we've seen, incredible. But again, you know, $5,000 purse, whatever that might be. Again, as Jake said, it's entertainment, and it's how you get to the end. Doesn't mean that one fighter's any better. I'm not even saying Paulie's not there in ability. I just don't know. He's not going to sell a fight like these two guys are selling this fight this week.
Well, there is 12 rounds that, you know, in the rumor mill, and this could be complete rumor, but I've heard they had no problem releasing the tapes, and we saw Dana release a short clip as well. But you know,
and Paulie complains about release the whole thing, nothing edited.
Well, according to Dana and some rumors that I've heard, they said they would have no problem releasing all 12 rounds. Conor's side didn't. So.
But obviously they don't want to do that leading up to the fight. That's stupid.
You can't, because you're giving away. You're going to see how Conor fights, and that's the one thing they're trying to protect, because you're coming in with that unpredictable, fighting ability.
So do you really think? I mean, Paulie says release the unedited. Obviously, he knows that's not going to happen now. Is he just posturing, or do you think he's telling the truth? That
I personally, I'm a huge fan of boxing, and boxing will never go anywhere, and I'm a huge fan of MMA, obviously, but I believe that he's posturing. I think Conor took it to him a little bit, and he didn't care for it, and there's a lot of ego involved. And why else would you leave the camp? Obviously, he's probably getting paid a significant amount of money to come and help.
So.
You know, but you know, he does work for Showtime, and it's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think it'll be interesting tomorrow. We got the press conference. That's going to be crazy. Yeah, I hope they do another face-off.
Well, the one thing I wanted to mention also is Floyd came out today and spoke about weight, so I wanted to mention this real fast. And, you know, boxers traditionally don't cut as much weight as MMA guys. MMA guys have taken weight cutting to
an unhealthy.
It's truly unhealthy,
yeah,
and I can attest to that, you know. But he's walking at 164 4 days out from weigh-ins, and that's a very easy cut. I believe he's further ahead than he would have been normally in an MMA fight, so I don't think that comes into play at all.
Are you looking forward to tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen?
Absolutely. I wish I could guess. Like I said, as many of these press conferences I've done, you'd think I'd have it down to pat. And no idea.
We haven't even talked about odds yet.
I mean,
and I'm surprised there aren't odds on the press conferences.
We haven't even been in the odds.
What's the chance of Paulie stepping up to Conor backstage? That'll be it for today, and join us every week for our podcast with Greg Hendricks, Jake Hatton, and me, Scott Peterson. Until next time.